Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash Brent, glad to be here on a Tuesday morning. Early voting beginning today. Hawk Dunlap's going to join us here in a few minutes. We got the technical issues sorted out there, so looking forward to that visit. He's running for railroad commissioner. In the meantime, Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Hay Feed and Ranch Services. Stop on by for all you need for your home, your ranch, your yard, your pets, your pests. They've got everything covered at Deerland.
Yeah, they're trying to get some bailout back in. That's your pre-emergent. You do away with the grass burr. I call them sticker burrs. Grass burr that haunts your pets in your yard. That should be in this week. And we should be good. 59 degrees. What is Lilo telling us? It's never good. Music is overpowering your voice. Well, there's no music.
The music's off now. We're good.
Yeah. Lilo, are you late, Lilo? 59 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, heading to a high today of 81. Fog, windy, sunny, all that stuff today. None of that really matters. 59 to 81. We are going to make a phone call because we can, and
we will,
and will. And I want to. We're going to call Kristen Moses, who is. I'll explain to you in a minute. We have to go old school on this. See if she can.
Hello.
Kristen.
Hi.
Hello, my friend. This is Kristen Moses, the niece, actually Mike Moses' daughter, and the niece of our own brother Gary Moses, the Wade and Carter and Victoria legend. How are you this morning, friend?
I'm good, hanging in there.
All right, I'm reminded of the whoever it was. I know it was somebody famous back in the day, not as famous as your uncle, but somebody who said, hey, rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, and I just wanted to reach out to you, first of all, and tell you that I'm sorry that. Brother Gary's celebrity has caused people to lose their minds and start posting things that they certainly can't know to be true on social media, and at the very least disrespecting the privacy of your family. And I just wanted to call and give you an opportunity to give our listeners an update on the beloved Brother Gary, and just tell us what's going on with your family right now.
Yeah, and I wanted to start by just saying thank you for reaching out to me, and I know that you guys are really good friends of my uncle, and I've been in touch with a lot of people that, I know that the community does deeply care about my uncle, and I understand that when people don't know what's going on, things start to, evolve in ways that, we may not want them to. But yeah, we've been intentionally kind of private about what's going on with my uncle, based on his wishes.
Right.
Because I think what people don't understand about my uncle is that even though he's very public, he's actually very private in his own life, not because there's anything to hide, but just because the focus is always on other people for him. And sometimes his health, the things that he needs kind of takes the back burner just because he loves. Like, I've never seen somebody love a community and what they did for work so much. He truly adores you guys, the people of Victoria, and that's been his priority for, I've known him for 47 years, but even before that. And I think what people may have gotten wind of or started to see is this actually started back in October. And I know that, people kind of noticed around town that he was having some troubles, and he did go into the hospital in November, and I've been with him this entire time. Every time he's been in the hospital, I've been there. When he was out, I've been there. So there's few people that actually kind of know what's going on, and if you haven't heard it from our family, it probably isn't completely accurate, because what he has is very rare. It's an autoimmune disorder that is just hardly anybody has, and it's crazy that of all the people in the world that could have something like this happen to them, it's my uncle. Not that anybody deserves this, but he absolutely doesn't deserve this because, my uncle loves being with his people. He loves being out there, and so what has happened to him has affected, his walking, his talking. It's neurological, so that's why I don't think people understand, the calling, the texting, all of that stuff right now is really hard for him, which is why we put together the Dear Brother Gary website.
That's a
And
wonderful
people,
idea.
oh, thank you. Because what is meaningful and helpful to him right now is that, like, we can hand him something because, my uncle has never been on social media. I'm not a big social media person either, but I've kind of had to get in the mix the last few days because of what has kind of been going on this entire time. But if we can have something to hand him that he can read, that we can read to him, that kind of relates him back to his life that he had, it's very meaningful to him. And the thing about where my uncle is right now with his health is, it still is very serious, but he is absolutely not dying. He very much wants to be alive. He has overcome so much, and is just, as somebody who's been sitting next to his bed for months now, I've never seen somebody fight so hard to be back with their community. And, there were times when he was in the hospital that he was doing radio shows, which a lot
Yes.
of people don't know. He was calling in, from the hospital, sometimes from the ICU. So he is a fighter. He has done more than I ever thought anybody could do. He still wants to make a full recovery, but it is still very sensitive, and we have intentionally been very protective of him because he does get very overwhelmed with things right now. Not in a bad way, but again, I think what people don't understand is this is a neurological thing. So a lot of things coming at him at once is not helpful. And my uncle wants everyone is going to do this anyway, but he wants to be remembered how he was, and he hopes to come back as that someday. So that is really why we've been pretty protective and very quiet. But he remembers everything about the past. Like, anybody who's come into the room that he knows or remembers, he's like, I went to your wedding, or your daughter's name is this, or your husband's name is this. So he has very strong memories of his life and his work. It's just really kind of the stuff that is happening now, that's been hard for him. And people have to understand that my uncle has had everything that he loves taken away from him very quickly. This was something, he was perfectly normal in October and driving all over town doing his events.
Yes.
And this came on very quickly. So it's been a big adjustment for him. So he's dealing with a lot. And I know, he's getting a lot of texts because we look at his phone. We help him with all his communication, and it's a lot for him, and it's just been a big adjustment. So I just ask that people kind of consider that this is a man who's still very much mourning, in his, in a very Brother Gary like way of being very strong during all this, the way that he used to be. And it's been hard on my family. My uncle's my hero. My dad, Michael, and my uncle are best friends. I used to always joke that those two are dating because they went everywhere together. They were
Right.
always each other's plus one to everything. And, my dad's the big brother, and it's been hard on him to see this very active man, much like the community. It's probably hard to understand that this man who's been larger than life and superhuman for so long, that's just kind of been out of the spotlight for a while. But there's been an important reason, and we're still, we still have some obstacles, but I would say, is doing extremely well considering everything that he's been through in the
Ab-
last few months.
Absolutely. We really wanted to give you the opportunity to come on and give folks an update. Of course, Brother Gary's gift is that everybody feels like they've known him forever.
And he's taught everybody in town, it seems.
Yes, and at the end of the day, I think some of these folks literally feel that they are owed an explanation. They are owed an update on his health and situation, and it's just not the case. We have to remind people that there's privacy, there's family, and but we really just wanted to give you an opportunity to share how he's doing and to give you our love and let you know that we've absolutely been promoting the Dear Brother Gary project and just encouraging folks, if you want to communicate with Gary, write it down. Imagine a man who's got, 10,000 phone numbers in his phone getting text messages from people saying, Gary, how are you? Answer me. He's got a lot of pressure on him at a time when he really needs to rest. Mm-hmm. So we just wanted to give you a chance to come on and talk to our people, and and I really appreciate all you're doing. You talk about selfless. I mean, as a niece who lives out of town, to be here and just basically put your life on hold to help, the odd couple, Mike and Gary. It's like moving in with those two. So
I know. Never in my life did I think this was going to be my 40s, just me, my dad, and my uncle. I mean, I'm happy to do it. And I always told my uncle, and I joked around, I'll always take care of you, uncle. And I told my dad the same thing. I'll always take care of you. They need me, and I was happy to step into this role. But just so everyone knows, I've been with him. It's been a lot that I've done, but my dad's been very present. My cousin Misty Baruti has helped me immensely. My other cousin Tommy Joe Hike helped. I also want to thank Dr. McNeil, his doctor. He's gone over and above. He's been on the phone with me, hours of me crying. And,
right.
Even some people at Citizens, Kathleen Card, so many people have reached out to me that know my uncle. Sorry, I say uncle. I never would call him brother. But my uncle Gary, very intimately. And, I've been in touch with some of his very good friends throughout this that my uncle has said, let them know. I want them to know. But yeah, it is a lot on him. And just know, if you do write a letter to him, him hearing those stories, on the website, we kind of ask for share your favorite memory or share something that you've done for him or he's done for you. So that stuff is really helpful to ground him back into who he was. And he's, and this is really heartbreaking, but he's said to me, I hope Victoria doesn't forget about me. And I said, Uncle, you have no idea what is going on
there's no
social
chance.
Media.
Amen. Well, Kristen, just thank you for all you're doing, and thank you for taking a few minutes to visit with our audience. And I know that our audience will embrace the Dear Brother Gary project, and we've been praying for Gary endlessly, and I know that our audience will keep doing that. So
yeah, miracles can happen. Amen. We very much believe in that, and the PO box number is on the website. And just a reminder, my uncle is not on social. He's not on anything right now. So the written form is actually the best way to reach out to him. And we are reading those letters to him, and he will get, we have time right now.
Amen.
So if you send it in, we will make sure that he hears it. So thank you so much for reaching out to me. I love you guys, and I appreciate you.
And we appreciate
everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
All
We will
right.
be in
Thanks,
touch.
Kristen.
We'll be in touch. And let's talk. So give the brother a hug from Ash and me.
You got it.
Yes, ma'am. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Have a good day. So that's Kristen Moses. That's our friend Kristen, and very poignant. We talk about news straight from the source. Very good update right from Kristen, and you can walk straight through. And we're gonna give my buddy here a minute, and his dad, and adjust, and then we will. We're gonna have a very good visit, a long visit with Hawk Dunlap, who's running for a railroad commissioner. So, folks, Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Palace can help you have a great time. Support 7 local charities, get in and have some fun playing bingo. Our day for Wade and Carter Bingo is next Thursday, the 26th. You'll want to be there.
Absolutely.
Brand us, Commander Cody can help you with all of your, thank you, Ron, can help you with all of your internet and Facebook and website needs. He can also help you if you're elderly, decrepit, ignorant, and you don't know how to work your computer like me. He can help
that
you.
for you as well.
He can do that for you. The chopping block for all your dietary food protein
All your
needs.
carnivore
Reach out.
essentials.
Get a hold of them. Chopping block's going to have all your beef, chicken, all types of sausage, boudin. Great fare. We're rushing through today. We have lots and lots to cover. You know our sponsors like White Trash Services, 550-1826. Let the Nelsons help you have a trash-tastic day.
We'll get to the rest here in a little bit.
Happy belated birthday to Scott Nelson. So we're joined this morning by a familiar face seeking a different role, former County Commissioner Clint Ives and his very successful
campaign manager.
His campaign manager, Maximilian, to talk about what's going on. Tell us what's going on, Clint.
First of all, gentlemen, y'all have stepped up your game.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So let's reflect, shall we? The old 80s TV shows where the music takes you back
Yep.
and the screen gets cloudy. 1340 a.m. in a broom closet
More or less.
with 4 listeners to this loft. It's surrounded by technology and
Now we have the No Bull Network.
no, is that a play on words?
Well, it is for them.
It is for them, but that's where we are.
So Carter, the first thing I noticed, I mean, it's been a minute since we've been on the air, but how's a man your age make it up those stairs every day?
26 stairs, Clint.
Dear God, I mean, you got like 2 decades on me, and I stopped for a breather.
I'm trying to get one of those things that you sit in and they
Yeah,
slide you
on
up
the rail.
stairs.
Yep.
Right.
yeah.
I would support that. I would go
Yeah.
halves on that for you. If
Yeah,
this,
we're thinking about that.
Yeah. Anywho, no, hats off to you guys. Man,
Thank you,
y'all
sir.
have grown this program.
40,000 listeners
40,000 listeners.
per month.
From 4? From 4? What, so how long ago was that? How long ago was
10 years ago.
1340?
We're in our 10th year.
All right, 10 years ago, from 4 listeners, which was
My mom,
family,
you.
right, to 40,000 and a regional reach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's
Big
amazing.
We're there.
That is amazing.
It's a big
That is
region.
Oh, no, shout out to Ash. I'm not so much complimenting Carter, but Ash, I wholeheartedly agree with the celebratory comments that Brent made with you and
Thank you.
your dedication and focus. You're one of them guys that's just behind the scenes, under the radar, grinding away at it, doing his thing, and has seen nothing but success. And we applaud that.
Thank you. I hire good
Absolutely.
people and let them do their jobs,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
and don't micromanage them.
Yeah, exactly. No, back to Brent's point. Yeah, running for JP4, and I've always been honest with the public, and honestly, that race wasn't on my radar up until this summer. Judge Miller announced his retirement, and I had a handful of folks that I deeply value their opinions, and man, they started working on me. And at first, I was a hard no. Then I was a soft no. Then I
Then it
was
was a maybe.
Then I was well, let's think about it. And I'll tell you, my primary focus and reason for running for JP is not the traditional motives for seeking a JP office. Your JPs are much like you, Ash. They're in the background. They're fulfilling their statutory duties. There's a piece of that job that is not on the public's radar, and it comes with arraignments and bail. Victoria County is very fortunate to have a long-standing history of a judiciary with conservative criminal justice ideals. From our JPs to our prosecutors to our county court at law judges to our district judges. That entire slate for Victoria County, in my opinion, holds true to conservative criminal justice ideals, crime and punishment. Not so much for communities within 100 miles of us. And why and when is that JP position important to that mission? Every defendant sitting in the county jail right now will be arraigned and have bail set by a JP. And that's not widely known, but that is a very, very important task, because if you look 100 miles to our north down 59, you see a completely broken criminal justice system.
We've had Marnie Conrad on this,
since
on this
2018
program talking about.
In 2018, the entire judicial slate from top to bottom in Harris County turned blue.
And Fort Bend isn't much better.
Fast forward to where we are today, the crime rate, the violent crime rate in Harris County is comparable to Colombia and any drug cartel riddled country in South America. That is what a handful of years with a solid blue left-leaning judiciary can do to your community. My opinion, your JPs in Victoria County are that firewall. They are the firewall that keeps criminal justice reform and bail reform out of your community. And that's my primary focus. Yes, squatters are important. Earlier on Bill Posey's show, we were talking about how Representative Louderback co-sponsored a bill that allows JPs to expedite that eviction process when property owners are dealing with a squatter. In the past, that can take 30, 60, 90 days, depending on the situation. Now JPs are empowered to expedite that process.
It just takes a pair of nunchucks. Nunchucks in a six-pack, and they're gone.
You know, a squatter can destroy your investment in a short amount of time.
Absolutely.
The profit margin with real estate investment is thin. So 30 days, 60 days, 90 days rent-free, that's the difference between profit and default. And now JP is in a position to cure that, and that's a good thing. And hats off to Representative Louderback for co-sponsoring that. Some of the other statutory duties within a JP office.
Truancy was one that I remember that they used to be very involved in. Is that still as big an issue? Or
I can remember 2015, 2016, where Judge Miller in JP4 was handling up to 400 truancy cases a year.
Wow.
400. That is a burden on your JP court system. It's a burden on VISD, obviously, because that's getting into their budget.
Yep.
It's a bigger burden on the law enforcement piece of the JP office with your constable, because every one of those truancy cases, the kid is served and the parents are served. That's a lot of service for one case.
Yeah. We know people who have left the constableship just because it was just too much hassle.
Yeah, it is. That's a constable's office is a one-man show, or they may have an unpaid deputy for the most part, but that is a huge load on your constables for service.
Can you hold parents accountable?
So what triggered that huge spike? Prior to 2015 era, and I'm going to be loose on my dates because I've slept since then. Prior to that time period, JPs had some enforcement abilities where they could hold the parent accountable. The parent could be charged criminally for negligently allowing that child to skip school for 3 months. There was a left-leaning legislator in the legislation at the time that championed reform for truancy at the JP level and was successful in doing that, and stripped the teeth out of JP court for truancy. So then you went into a pattern where JPs could, Max Ives, you're going to get 8 hours of community service for not going to school. You will go to school, young man. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, he's back in JP court because the constable served him again because he hadn't been to school.
Or did community service.
Now you're getting 16 hours, young man. You better straighten up.
That'll show him.
Exactly. And it was just a vicious cycle. What has cured that between now and then? Aggressive, I think a lack of aggressive pursuit by the school district. But then there's some alternatives that have come into play. Online high school, online junior high has been a part of that cure. You know, you can do a lot in 2 hours online on an online curriculum versus a traditional classroom setting. And so I think that's a piece of it. But truancy has significantly dropped. I was talking to Judge Miller last month, and he said, man, I've got a case or two a month compared to just an inundated courtroom of truancy.
So you got early voting starts today.
Today.
And voting for the big election is when?
March 3rd. March 3rd is election day.
You promise to come back between now and then?
You know, what are the 3 rules to voting, Carter?
Location, location, location.
That's real estate.
Oh.
Voting is vote early, vote often, vote Ives.
I like it.
go.
Yeah. I like
Appreciate
it.
that.
I like it. Pulling the dead Democrat votes. No, I like it. And Clint, you're always refreshing and always a ton of fun. But I'm hearing in your voice it's serious business, and you're committed to taking it seriously. So I'm glad you're here.
I am deeply concerned for this community and this state. Outside of the roles of the JP, I spoke very, very strongly last Tuesday night at the Women's Republican Club. I was supposed to talk about myself in the office, and I did not. I spoke about my concerns for this state. Colonel West wrote a book a few years ago, Hold Texas, Hold the Nation. Mm-hmm. I encourage everybody to read that because it can nearly be prophetic as to how slippery the slopes are when it comes to us losing Texas and losing our electoral college votes and how that can transform the future for this nation. I boil it back to Victoria County, all right? We're within 100 miles in every direction of a left-leaning blue machine. Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Corpus is getting there. All the left has to do is close that gap, and we will lose Texas. Look at the 2018 Ted Cruz race. We nearly lost the brightest mind in the Senate to a doofus that walked out of El Paso with a skateboard.
Right, that's right.
And we nearly lost the brightest mind to that clown. Yep. All right, fast forward to this upcoming general, Jasmine Crockett, and our U.S. Senator.
Unbelievable.
I am confident that Jasmine Crockett is going to be the Democrat nominee. That's another clown up against one of our senators. Now, we've got 3 in the primary. I'm not going to provide my opinion on that race, but I would ask every Republican voter to ask themselves which one of the 3 can beat Jasmine Crockett. Because the old arguments are off the table. The old arguments are, oh, who's going to lower my taxes? Or, oh, he's not conservative enough? Or, oh, he's a moderate. Set those aside and decide on the Republican that can beat that left nut job. Because you flip one senator in this state,
it's a big deal.
Folks, we're purple.
Yep.
No, that's right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's right.
Appreciate you, man.
Take 10 seconds and tell us about your sidekick. What's he been up to?
Got a little athlete with me, Max Ives. Speaking of truancy, here in about 20 minutes, he will be truant. But,
he better be on time.
We've got a pass from the school because we've got this is a media opportunity.
Okay.
All 3 of my boys, if you follow my social media, have gotten into rough stock rodeo sports. My oldest son Cole is a bareback rider. Brent has seen him.
Defy death. I've seen him defy death.
From bareback riding to bull riding to bronc riding, and my middle son is actually fascinated with freestyle bullfighting.
That'd be Johnny Fu.
Which is an incredible sport within itself. It's fun, it's dangerous, but it's very rewarding. And Max had a big accomplishment this past December, and I'll let him talk about it.
Tell us, Max.
Come on, Max, what happened, man?
I've known Max since he was a pup.
Yeah.
Tell us what you did, son.
Yes, sir. I qualified for the junior NFR National Finals up in Las Vegas. And I came home as the 2025 Junior Saddle Bronc World Champion.
Nice.
Boy.
Way to go.
Yes, sir.
Retire now. Save your knees.
And you're back.
No, that's awesome. I'm not surprised at all. I know how hard you work at everything you do, so you keep working hard, and good things are going to continue to follow. You might be the only 6'5" bareback rider in the history of the sport, but they won't call you Flea, so you're doing good. I'm proud of you.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. What do you think? Can your dad make a good justice of the peace?
I think he'll do great in it. He has 12 years as commissioner. I think he'll do great in it.
There you go. You're spoken like a campaign manager. Well, Clint, get that boy to school. Get him some learning, some book learning.
Don't make him your first truancy case. If
We
you
have
win the election.
20 minutes to get to Vanderbilt, which could involve a speeding ticket and a truancy citation, which JP's handled.
But if I know you,
You've got the Victoria
if I know
100 Club
you-
sticker on. You're good.
your windshield inspection sticker is good.
All right. We got Huck
Hey.
Dunlap standing by. We're gonna
Yes,
get the Huck
sir.
here 'cause
You're free to go. Thank you. Good to see y'all. Maximilian, be good, my brother. Love you. Proud of you. All right. That's awesome. Let's take a quick break. Get Hawk lined up. Is Hawk gonna? Are we gonna call him on the phone?
I think we got it working. We'll see if can get
We
this
think
working
we
now.
do.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk to Hawk Dunlap for sure. Allen's Record Service, 578-6300. Allen's your go-to tow-to. You got a problem? If Clint Ives ends up in a ditch, he's calling Allen's
Absolutely.
Record Service. Went Services for all your electrical needs. Went can help you with plugs. Went can help you with ballast for lighting. Went can help you with anything
electrical.
you need. Parvita Wellness, get in and get healthy. Let Erica Briggs help you. And, it's about choices. And Erica can help you. Take your blood work and let Erica help. I want to read a comment. Go back up to our own Jennifer Rayburn. And then I want to introduce our guest. Jennifer Rayburn says, how brilliant. She says, Hawk is brilliant. Holding negligent business to account and forcing the hand of the quote-unquote powers that be in such a way that miraculously our Railroad Commission has started making some claims about accountability for zombie wells and petroleum sludge. Hawk Dunlap has a reputation already as being in the oil field for a long, long time. We're going to let him tell you about his past and our state's future. So, Hawk, welcome, and you've taken over. So this
Good
doesn't
morning.
matter.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
There we go. We got him. There we are. We got it working now. How are you, sir? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being patient as our morning got a little crazier than we thought it was going to be.
Doing well, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Tell us. We always start off every opportunity we have to visit with a candidate. Tell us about you. Tell us why you, why this office, and why now.
Well, I'm a sixth generation Texan, fourth generation oil and gas business. I started working in the oil field in 1991 when I was a student at Stephen F. Austin State University, and come this June, it'll be 35 years. I've worked and traveled to over 100 countries around the world, and I spent 27 years living overseas. I came back. I got involved at the end. We ended up digging up 150 wells on that ranch, and all of them were leaking. The landowner sued Chevron in December of 22, and we fought them in litigation for 3 years, and fought the Railroad Commission, along with several other landowners in the region, and eventually ended up going over to East Texas, helping those people with the solid waste issue. And the more and more that I get into it, the more and more problems I'm starting to see. And with these new AI data centers coming into play, our groundwater is under threat from commercialization and contamination from oil and gas operations. So I just woke up one day and I was mad, and I had enough, and I decided I was going to run.
I think that's awesome. Folks are telling us that we've got some echo on our end. Is there a way you can turn down the volume on your computer a little bit and let us moderate the volume? I think that'll help. See if that helps. You don't have to turn it all the way down, but just down a little bit. I think we're getting a little reverb out of that.
Is that any better?
I hope so. I know that you came highly recommended to us by a great friend of the program and just an interesting character, Sarah Stogner, and we adore her and think she's incredible. She speaks very, very highly of your commitment to what you're doing, and we know from numerous conversations with Sarah that the problems out in West Texas are like glaringly terrible. Like that there are just places out there that, people like to paint these scenes of Chevron and others just being so cautious and careful, and yet there's just exposed pipes and chemicals everywhere and things dripping everywhere. and it's
Toxic water bubbling up, salt water bubbling up.
easier for them to pay the occasional fine than it is to do what they're contractually required to do. How would you, as railroad commissioner, really drop the hammer on them?
Well, I've been doing it for the last 4 years anyway, or trying to. It's kind of hard. After you've been in this business for 35 years doing what I've done, it's kind of hard to hide anything from me. And I've definitely seen some collusion between the Railroad Commission and Chevron. Case in point is I reported 2 Chevron wells that were leaking, and all I wanted to do was get a wellhead on them. That was in November of 24. The Railroad Commission inspector came out timely within 48 hours, and we spent 3 hours together. The great person and understood needed to be done and what I wanted to have done. Then started asking for the complaint number in January of 25 and a copy of the report. And to this day, I still haven't got it. So there is collusion among the companies and the Railroad Commission. You've got landowners that are having to hire lawyers to do the job of the Railroad Commission, and that just shouldn't be done.
Wow. Hey, our buddy Calhoun and DeWitt County DA Brian Cromines said to tell you hi.
Yeah, tell Brian.
He's a good one. Well, how's the campaign going? You're obviously, running against an incumbent. You've got an uphill battle as all quote unquote new candidates do. What do you feel? What feedback are you getting from the public?
I'm getting some great reception from the public, and a lot of times it's from they've seen me on social media. Last night at an event in Silver Springs, several people come up to me and said, "We know YouTube, or we know you from TikTok." And so I've been fortunate enough. I think I'm getting close to 128,000 followers on TikTok now. And I tease my teenage children all the time that they'll never be able to catch up to that.
I was gonna say, if you don't get elected, maybe you could start selling like FR clothing or something. I don't
do
FR. Maybe if you rode a pump jack, you'd get some real traction.
Yeah, that's what I'm really hopeful.
I did that a couple of years ago, and nobody seemed to like it. I don't get it.
Put your shirt back on, Hawk. Yeah, I'm
you got a pretty big endorsement too out of the San Antonio Express News just recently, didn't you?
Yeah, that was great. We've gotten the Houston Chronicle, the San Antonio paper, the Austin paper, in Fort Worth, and that's been great. It kind of boils down to there's 5 of us in this race, and it kind of boils down to the public. I mean, do you want a politician regulate your oil and gas and pipelines and mining, or do you want somebody in office that's actually done some of this stuff and knows the ins and outs? As far as the campaign going, I've got a great support system in the background that's handling all the political aspects. I told him, I said, look, only thing I know how to do is grind, and so you tell me where to be and where to show up, and I'm convinced that personally I am the one that's keeping the price of oil up and the price of gas as much as I've been buying.
Well, one thing that intrigues me about your campaign that I think makes me lean towards your message is it's clear to me that you're an oil and gas man. So you're pro-production, you're all about doing it, and yet you're saying, hey, there's a right way to do it. I want to do it right. I want these oil companies, big oil, to live up to their contractual responsibilities. And I like the accountability side of it because humbly, it does seem like the position is prime for payoffs and graft and corruption. I mean, it seems like something that you could have a whole section of Landman could be about the Railroad Commission not exactly being, on the up and up. If you wanted to be like Hollywood, I just don't see that from your background. Is it a problem? Is there a problem in Austin?
Oh, for sure, there's a huge problem. You know, the transparency issue. The railroad commission meets monthly, and they go over 600 plus items, and they're done in 35 minutes, and they're patting themselves on the back about how efficient they are. The public comments. People had to drive to Austin to make public comment, to give their 3 minutes of public comments, and it kind of discourages the public from coming. And look, if you're coming from the Panhandle and you got to go to Austin, look about making that drive, and you got to get a hotel room, you got to feed yourself, and then you got to show up at the meeting to give 3 minutes. I mean, this is the 21st century. I mean, look at us. We're doing this remotely. Why can't people dial in remotely and give their of public comments and let people hear what's happening all across the state? It's ridiculous to not allow that to happen in this day and age and let people have their say. When I get in the office, if you're going to come to a railroad commission meeting, you better bring your lunch. We're going to be there a while.
Tell you what, you could probably hire me and Ash over here to we could moderate those call-ins and say next.
That would be great.
Yeah, we could go through them for you. Well, so where are you off to? Where are you right now, by the way?
So I'm going to be in DFW for today and tomorrow, and then back down to Houston. I'm going to have to hit Waco, and then got one down in Chambers County. That's for the next 4 or 5 days. So it's I've been running ahead of home, I guess, in almost 3 weeks now. We're just going to keep grinding. We got 2 more weeks left in this thing, and we got plenty of gas money.
Good. Any plans to hit the Victoria or the Crossroads area?
I'm trying to put something together down that way. I've talked to the folks in Corpus Christi. They've got a horrible water problem down there.
Yes,
a lot of folks have reached out, and I'm trying to get down there and get a group of folks together and just meet and greet. We've got 30 million barrels of produced water that's being produced in Texas every day. For every barrel that we produce 3 to 5 barrels of water. The technology is out there to clean this water and turn it over to industry and get industry off of groundwater and our surface water. And this is we don't need to just keep talking about this. We need to start doing it because we're in a bind right now for water all across the state. And I've been all over, and that's the public's main concern is about their water. You start talking about data centers and other industries. So we've got the water in the oil and gas industry. We just need to incentivize people to go ahead and start building these facilities at scale and start cleaning it up and turning it over to them.
Well, what a lot of people around here don't realize is Corpus water issues affect us because they're pulling water from the reservoir in Jackson County.
Yeah, we've got the problem that they just recently built a new harbor bridge in Corpus, which allows them to bring in larger ships, and yet industry down there is talking about being forced to leave the Corpus area because industry requires so much water. They voted and protested about a desal plant in large part because the discharge was going to go into Baffin Bay when we all agreed from the start it should go on out to the Gulf. If you're going to discharge 30 million gallons of brine a day, build the pipeline out to the Gulf. People are saying, well, that makes it cost prohibitive. Not as cost prohibitive as not being able to drink water.
Yeah,
there's a problem.
We got to get to a place in time in this state where we stop putting profits over people. All right, we got to start doing it the right way and looking after people, and nobody's doing it. Everybody's looking at their profit and loss statement, their Excel spreadsheet, and they're not looking at what the effect is on people.
I like it,
and it's a huge effect on people because without water, people can't survive.
Yeah. That's Ash with the scientific minute. You must follow the science.
I mean, it's true. Texas is a hard country when you look at our climate in the summertime, and it's even harder still if you can't get a drink of water.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason Richard King didn't move farther north. There just wasn't enough water. I look at as we grow. I mean, you can go over to just south of Austin to the New Braunfels area, and that area is, of course, there's still aquifer and all that, but that area is just drying up there. I mean, they're at the point where they can't really afford to build too many more homes over there, kind of connecting Highway 46 going all the way over to Bernie. That over the top has become prohibitive. There's no water out there for those folks to build. And we think of this as being like a Cabo San Lucas problem. It's not. It's a state of Texas problem.
Yeah, it's statewide, and we've got thousands of people moving into Texas every month, and they come here for it's a great place to do business. It's a great place to live. But we haven't planned that far ahead on water, and we're behind. Way behind.
Yes, sir.
And there's solutions out there, but we're going to have to work with the legislature, and we're going to have to work with industry, and we're going to have to fill these voids.
We mentioned already that early voting starts today. It is Fat Tuesday.
It is.
It's
The year of the fire horse as well as a Chinese zodiac.
That's
calendar
right. That's right.
changes.
which absolutely means nothing to a man in West Texas, and that makes us proud. I hope that you'll, if you do make it this direction, from anywhere, you're probably going to come through Victoria on your way to Corpus. We'd love to have you on in studio, and Sarah can hook you up with all of our digits so that we can visit. We'd love it. And what is she working in your campaign?
Yeah, she's been a big help. Like I said, and I've got some others. I'm not real versed in the political machine, and to be honest, I don't want to be. And I just want to kind of get out there and tell my truth and give my solutions, and let the campaign folks take care of the politics. And it's kind of like me being on a welfare job. I had a project manager that he dealt with the customer, and if I needed something from the customer, I dealt with the project manager, and all I had to do was work, and it's worked out really well. And it keeps the noise off of me, so I can stay on message.
I think that's awesome. I think you're doing a great job. We're excited for your campaign and hope that you'll check back in with us closer to, quote unquote, election day. Between now and then, just keep it moving and keep spreading the message.
Appreciate you.
I'll do it, guys.
Thank
Thank you for having me on. It's been enjoyable.
God bless and be
Thank you.
safe. We appreciate you checking in.
Hawk Dunlap,
Thank you.
who's running for railroad commissioner. He's on the Republican ticket. We really appreciate him joining us this morning
Awesome.
as well. Thank you, sir.
Good job, sir.
And you can get back to your day. We really appreciate it, and we won't keep you any longer.
Yeah, we're still, I wouldn't say struggling. We're doing the best we can to merge several technologies here.
I don't know what was caused. We heard none of the feedback or echo, so I don't know where that was coming from. It might have been his technical issues on his end, but I don't know.
Yeah. A real quick share, the Reverend Jesse Jackson passes away early this morning at the age of 84. If you're anywhere close to my age, you look at Jesse Jackson as another of the pastors without a church, an opportunistic Democrat who clung to the bloodstained clothes of MLK, yearning for recognition and relativity.
Yeah, when I was younger, I bought into the social justice warrior that he was, the civil rights leader, and then you get older and you realize that exactly what you said. I viewed him more as an opportunistic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the word, but he was very opportunistic, and I didn't think he was very sincere.
Agree, 100%. Jesse was all about Jesse, and there were times that his message was poignant. And I know that he ran for president, I think, in 84? Something like that. I could be wrong. He ran against, I don't know who he ran against. He didn't ever get the nomination. I don't know. Somebody help me. Jennifer Rayburn will know. But Jesse Jackson, long known. I was alive when
88.
When Martin Luther King was killed, and even then, much like Chappaquiddick and the realities that haunted Ted Kennedy about that situation, there were grumblings in the civil rights movement arena about how that Jesse went over and just got Martin Luther King's blood and put it on him and claimed that MLK had anointed him to pick up the torch and to carry on. He was a self-anointed MLK, protege.
Yeah.
And I never saw it, or I saw through it from the very beginning.
He ran in 84 and 88, and now CBS News, just the headline, how Reverend Jackson's 2 campaigns for the White House shaped presidential politics.
They did not.
And they're saying that He helped pave the way for Barack Obama
That's
to
a
get
lie.
elected in 2008.
That's a lie. I mean, there's always that deal of it is unbelievable to me how if you have a great quarterback and he happens to be black, they're going to compare him to Doug Williams and Warren Moon. It's not fair to the kid. It's not fair to the legendary players that are Doug Williams and Warren Moon. It's just, it's like, oh, he's black. Which black guy is he like? Jesse Jackson was more like, I don't know, what was the guy's name that got in the tank, the Democrat? Remember, he got in the tank. He was like
I don't remember.
Jennifer will know. Yeah.
Junior says Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson in the same boat. Yeah,
That's
Reverend Al's just as bad.
Al's
if not
terrible. Al's just terrible.
Worse. Grifters.
Yeah, that's exactly the right word. They're grifters. Yeah. So you got that going on.
Robert Duvall?
Robert Duvall passed away. To me, much more of a tragic loss. I tell you what, I used to say if I was in a hotel and I didn't know anything about a movie, if it had Clint Eastwood or Michael Caine or Gene Hackman or Robert Duvall, you just couldn't go wrong because those men got to the point where they didn't have to make bad films. Robert Duvall, gave credibility to the race car movie with Tom Cruise, Top Gun on Wheels.
Yeah.
What was it called? We usually frick and frack really well.
If you wouldn't have asked me that one.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, yep.
And, Duvall was the serious actor in that he was at his very best as Gus McCrae in Lonesome Dove, he was just amazing. He was, of course, he was Tom Hagen in The Godfather.
And he won Best Actor for Tender Mercies in '83.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, he passed peacefully at home. Bobby Duvall was 95 years old. I'll never forget watching Tom Cruise interviewed when Tom Cruise was still somewhat impressionable as an actor. And he was very proud of the fact that he could refer to Robert Duvall as Bobby, and that Bobby was big into Arabian horses, and that Bobby had taught him how to deal with horses. But he was clearly starstruck in the presence of the elder Duvall. Same thing from Kevin Costner, just waxed eloquent about what a fantastic gentleman and what a fantastic mentor Robert Duvall was to him as an actor. What do you got?
Well, Geneva hosting U.S.-Iran nuclear talks today, and also Russia-Ukraine-U.S. peace talks will take place as well. So interesting to see what happens. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner leading the American charge on both sides of those negotiations.
I found it interesting that White House border czar Tom Homan pointed out that a, quote, small security force will remain in Minnesota for at least a short period of time, because he basically said they will respond if people inhibit local agencies from apprehending illegal aliens. Very interesting.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Family members of Nancy Guthrie have been ruled out of her abduction. So, again, over the weekend, some pretty poor Facebook, YouTube idiots saying that it was her husband that was involved, that he'd been arrested and all this. None of it was true. But much like the Brother Gary's demise, people just run with stuff.
I don't
that makes
understand
no
that
sense because they're trying to get likes and clicks.
If you're tempted to be the first person to report about the death of someone, stop and check your motives. I mean, number one, clearly you did not vet that data because you posted it without confirming that the gentleman had actually passed. And second of all, to what end? That is private. Let the family make an announcement. That's why you always hear the news straight from the source here. That's why I reached out to Kristen Moses, and why we're so flattered that she came in and talked to us before any other to discuss the fact that her uncle is fine.
You know, the one thing that I think has been sort of missing in this whole Nancy Guthrie thing is the warning to seniors to not answer your door to strangers.
Yeah.
I mean, guy walks up with a ski mask and a backpack and gloves,
I'm not answering
and
that
somehow
door.
she walks out the door. I might answer it, but I'm going to have a 9mm in my hand.
Absolutely. And it's not like it was somebody she knew, because she would have been like, why are you at my door with a mask on
Yeah.
your face, Bill?
You know, I mean, the entire media has missed an opportunity to get seniors to maybe invest in a Ring doorbell or something like that,
Absolutely.
and B, don't answer the door to strangers. The same thing these people taught their kids when you had no doorbells
Right.
that you could look through, and you had most houses didn't have an eye hole or a peephole.
Jennifer Rayburn says her favorite non-Lonesome Dove line was, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. I couldn't agree more. I love the scene in Lonesome Dove. All you have to do is go to YouTube and type in Lonesome Dove bar scene.
Yep.
And when he bangs that bartender's, he says, now if you care to turn your head, you can see us when we were younger, and folks around here wanted to make us senators. The one thing we didn't tolerate then and clearly don't today is dawdling service. Great Robert Duvall.
A number of states have declined to hold optional prayer and Bible reading periods during the school day. I guess by law, all districts have to vote on this by March 1st. So I don't know where VISD is in this
During
one.
the school day.
Yeah.
During the school day. If you want to pray, close your eyes and pray in your seat. We don't need,
Nope, I
and
agree
here's
with
why we don't need that. Because I don't need every displaced Muslim whipping out their prayer mat in the middle of my elementary school. Be careful what you think you want. Well, we need equal time. Well, we need a little bit more time, and every classroom should show the direction of east, and all that. Nobody can stop you from praying.
None. A lot
So
of districts
just
said it was
pray.
a logistical nightmare.
Quit legislating all
Yeah.
this stuff.
No,
It may
absolutely.
make you look like a turbo Christian as a legislator, but just stop. Stop legislating what you can do on your own. Nobody can stop me from praying. It's the dumbest thing ever to make it a law, and then the next thing you know, well, it's the law. I want to pray. I brought my well, I want my incense too. Well, I need Buddha in the corner. Come on, people. Teach your kids to pray about that.
I got to start putting the spaghetti colanders on their heads.
Absolutely.
Over 100,000 applications to the Texas Education Freedom account in less than 2 weeks. That certainly was record-breaking demand. Governor Abbott saying the response proves families want school choice options. Is it that, or do they just want money?
Yeah, no kidding.
Do they just want something because the government's going to give it to them for free? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I do know we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to get out of here, folks.
We love you. I hope you have a great day. Take a minute, stop and pray. And when you do, pray for Brother Gary Moses. He's everybody's brother, man. He's everybody's friend. He never met a stranger. He knows everybody by name. God bless Brother Gary Moses. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.